Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Nagash, which is a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar, and in this video we're just going to be continuing our hobby hangout series. So it's all about fighting the grey here and working on your backlog. So in this video I'll be, how I've been doing in the last few videos, continue to paint up my Shalaxi Hellbane. So this model has taken quite a while to paint this because last time I counted there was like 200 and something gems on this thing, so that kind of answers that one. But I am here, I'll be doing this painting, and then if any of you guys got any questions, or if you're watching this on demand, go ask any questions in the comments down below if you're watching this on demand, and I'll be happy to answer any of those and let us know what you're working on. So if anyone is watching, hello, thank you for joining me. Hope you're well, and let me know what you are working on during this video. As I've already said, in this video I'll be working on Shalaxi Hellbane. So that is this model here, this demon that has taken a very long time to paint, but here we are. I haven't actually been able to paint too much in the week, just because in my free time I've been playing quite a few games on Tabletop Simulator, Age of Sigmar games, mainly just because I've got, I had a Warhammer tournament of Age of Sigmar, 2,000 points at the weekend just gone on Saturday, where I played 2,000 point tournament, 3 games, and I took Ostrich Bone Reapers. And as I haven't played too much Ostrich Bone Reapers lately, I had to do a fair bit of practice with them, just reminded myself all the tricks they had to make sure I could play them best I could. And I managed to win my first 2 games in that. So I won 2 games and lost the last one, which was okay, because I lost against... how many was it? I think it was 21 Yetis, which is something I thought I'd never see taken against me, but yep. So the opponent was More Tribes and 21 Yetis, and he was Winterbite. And after the video I did on Winterbite, saying that I don't think they're very good, I certainly ate my words in that one, as I was beaten with the unfortunate twist of a double turn against me. But apart from that, I did win my 2 other games, so I was happy with that. As long as I win more games than lose, that's really all I can ask for. And went on to my last game was table 4 of the tournament, so that was quite good. I was happy with that. But yeah, so what have you guys been up to painting in the week? Have you been able to do much, or was today the first time you managed to do a little bit of painting? Let me know that as well, and let me know what you're working on as well. If you got any questions, just ask me in the chat. So at the moment on this, I am just working on the base. It's taken a long time, the Shalaxi, and I like to say I've done most of the not nice bit, apart from mainly tidying up the white. I've done the least fun part, because I'll be chucking on some washes and some contrast and stuff soon. And that's always much more enjoyable than doing all the little gems and all those little intricacies, those little details. So yeah. And in case anyone's watching this outside of the UK, might be wondering if we're starting maybe an hour earlier today. Essentially, it's just because for us the clocks have gone. They've gone forward, so we've basically lost an hour. If that makes sense, it's to try and help out with like the sunlight and all that sort of thing over here. So that is why it may seem like for you guys an hour early, but it is not here. And we've got Luke in the chat saying greetings mates, hope you're well. How are things going? Are you working on anything in particular today, or are you just dropping in to say hello? I'll probably be doing this video for about an hour today. I've got some other things and stuff to do, and I think about an hour is about fine, isn't it? It doesn't go too long then. Get some more purple on the palette, make things easier for me. And then the reason why I do the base bit purple, because like these bases are the first bases I've done on a model or on an army project, so we say my whole Slanesh stuff, where the bases aren't quite natural. Like, so for example, I've done the typical, mud and grass sort of bases, but then also for my def, I've done grey rocks and then like snow and all that sort of thing as well. And then when I came to the Slaanesh stuff, I was like, it's in the realm of shadow, so I don't know how like natural looking the terrain is there. Obviously in the realm of shadow it's natural, but in terms of how we see, natural looking landscape, I wasn't too sure. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different. So we've got black stone and then like purple ruins on them. And then we've got like bright white pillars and all that sort of thing, which is also plays into when I'm slowly building up a Realm of Shadow scenery board. But hopefully one point in the future, I've also got scenery painted in that sort of colour as well. So it fits it, and I'll be painting the board in that sort of colour so it really fits the theme and it will look nice for the army. That is the plan anyway, and it'll look good for like armies on parade and stuff if I wanted to do that. I have actually though made a purchase for this army, and that is I bought some flowers. So I'm going to try at some point later putting flowers on the bases when it's all done and see if it works. So going for pink flowers. I'm not 100% convinced, but they're pretty cheap, and I thought they could just add that extra thing to the base. So I thought I'll do that as well, and just see how it goes. Now it's not the same colour as the purple we can see here, the liquid there. It's definitely more sort of a pink colour, so I think it will add like a nice bit of different tone to it, hopefully, I think. And what you might think before you buy, like, so a lot of this is just like from the scenery pack, I think, I don't know, large scenery basing pack or something it's called. And a lot of it looks very Sigmarite, which is true, it kind of does, but you can get away with it. Like I've cut a lot of it up here, and like you can see there's a hammer here and stuff, but it doesn't look too like much. It's all about order, and even it does, I'm just walking on the ruins of a order citadel in the realm of shadows or something. So then I've got looped in, finished the base on my first Noblar, 19 to go. Well, the first one's always the hardest Luke, so glad to hear that. And then Luke's now working on my Anointed. I was going to say, I imagine you're more happy working on the Anointed, but were you and like heart preferring painting that Noblar? Because I think that Noblar sounds quite fun. If you said paint 20 of them, I'm sure some would say like, well, you can paint like a 60 of them for like this strategy or something like that. 20 is more than enough for me, I think. Things like that. But you shouldn't have to worry too much about how well it comes out, because they are going to die very quickly to a more pop, presumably. All for good sacrifices, basically. So if anyone else is watching, let me know in the chat what you're working on, and like if you managed to do much painting this week and stuff, or today's your first time, let me know of that as well. Or you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Getting nice and deep in here. I really don't like painting what you can't see. Really not enjoyable. But it has to be done, because that's a very big cape. So I probably reckon another layer is going to go on this purple for the details. And because there's so much of it though, what that does mean is by the time you've got around to painting a layer on, you can probably paint the next layer if you start from where you started before, because it's already dried. And with things like mistakes in here, I'm not too worried, because the black is pretty easy to clear up. It's not like trying to fix mistakes on getting colour over white or something like that. The black is pretty easy to sort out, so yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I didn't want to do that though, that's fine, that's fine. And then we've got Luke saying, why should people start playing more Yetis? So what I said at the start of the video, in case people aren't here and stuff, is I did a tournament yesterday, a TTS one. So that was good fun. 2,000 points Age of Sigma. I won my first 2 games, and then I played my third and final game against a Winterbite army. So that is the Yetis. And the guy had a lovely guy called Stuart, I believe. He decided to take a whopping 21 Yetis, which I don't know if that exists in real life, someone having that many in their collection, but he took it anyway. And I thought, how has this got to, game 3, the final game of the tournament, and he could go with no losses here if he beats me? How has that happened? And then I played against the Yetis, and I was like, wow, okay, yep, they're pretty good, because they have insane movement. Essentially, they can, I believe, they can like pile in 6 inches into the enemy, and they can pile in out of combat into combat and stuff. But that also means that they can move in the combat phase, and they don't have to get into combat, but they can still pile in. So what that means is they can move closer to an enemy model, but they can use that just to move around the board and not necessarily move to get into combat, which is a really, really clever play. So much MSU as well, so multi small units, because they had loads of like units of free Yetis. Also, he had 7 units of free Yetis, which he played really well. He managed to get quite a lot of 6s to run and stuff in them as well, so they're moving insanely fast. And then most of the time they were attacking first as well against me, so it was very overwhelming and kind of blew my mind a little bit. And I did a review on Winterbite, and I slagged it off. Not slagged it off, that's probably not the right word, but I didn't say it was the best sub allegiance for the Ogre tribes, and I probably said it was the worst one. And then turns out he did very well there. I think it also plays depends on like the player's skill. Like I played against Stuart, who was very good with the army. So if you were to take it up for your first game ever with Ogre tribes, you would probably take some practice. But no, he did a great job, and he went 3-0. So he did really, really well. And that is why people should be playing more Yetis, to answer your question, Luke. Also, the fact that he got a double turn massively helped him, and if he didn't, I probably would have won the game. But that's neither here nor there. If only I could have rolled, I think, like a 3 or something, and I would have got it. But, we can't change priority rolls, so... well, you could do. Croak used to be able to change priority rolls, of course he did. That was long ago when Croak was even more powerful than he is now, which were very dark times of Age of Sigma. Very dark times, before points, I think, from my memory. So if anyone's joining, I'm painting up Shalaxi Hellbane today. If you let me know what you're painting up as well, it'd be good to hear that in the chat and how you're doing. I hope everyone's doing well. It's a difficult times and stuff at the moment, so I hope everyone's doing well and everyone's safe. And thank you for joining on the Hobby Hangout, Fighting the Grey. And like I've just been saying, that's been playing in a tournament. Haven't been able to do much painting. So today's like probably second time this week I've done some painting since you guys saw me last Sunday. So yeah, and if you guys anyone's watching this on demand like later, let me know what you've been working on stuff in the comments, and I'll be glad to hear that. I've recently replied to a bunch of people's comments as well, which I haven't really had much time to reply lately. It's been a bit of a busy week, but I did that just before I came live because I don't want to leave that too long. Do try and reply to as many people as possible, if not everyone. So if I go a bit quiet and stuff, trying to concentrate a little bit when you've got like these really narrow streets and stuff. So we've got Grimgar in the chat saying, currently debating what colour scheme for my Lumineth. I bought a while ago, suffering from painter's block. So if I was painting them up, I'd probably do something like, my favourite colour's red, so that's the angle I would go. However, I understand that's not for everyone, but like red and black is really nice. That's what I do for my Death Army, and I've seen it for Lumineth, and it looks really nice. So you've got that. There's also things like, blue and golds and all that sort of thing. Work well. I wouldn't paint them in the box art, and that's mainly just because with that, from someone who's painted an army in like white with my Slaves to Darkness, I know that's armor and it's not cloth, so it's different. So it's probably a bit easier, to be honest with you, because there's not so many like flat panels for you to get like a really good contrast with the white. I would still say Lumineth in a sort of creamy white colour. It will drive you insane a little bit painting it. So I wouldn't do the box art. But there's loads of different colours. I think even sort of yellow, what was quite interesting. So yeah, loads of different opportunities to do. The Lumineth models really take well to different colour schemes as well, which is really good and gives you loads of flexibility with the army. But no, congratulations. They've got like a for picking your army, and then they've got a big update, haven't they? So that's cool. For those Lumineth. So I wonder if you've got the stuff that I say the older stuff, but the stuff that came out like not even a year ago, or have you got the are you going to get the new stuff that went on pre-order yesterday? And because that Fox lady looks very, very strong in the game, very strong in the game. I'm not. Their war scrolls look particularly good. That's what I'm going to say about it until we see points and stuff. But no, it's a cool looking army for sure. And then we've got Pinus in the chat saying greetings. I'm actually never commenting on YouTube. However, just stumbled upon your stream and wanted to say hi. Thanks a lot for your passionate work. Wish you a fantastic Sunday. Oh, very nice, man. Don't ever feel like hesitant of not commenting on videos or anything like that, or joining live streams and going in the chat. Always happy to chat to people about the hobby and all that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely, man. Well, thank you very much for posting your first thing, and glad to hear that you're enjoying the content. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And what are you working on? Are you doing any paint or anything, or do you just drop to say hi? And I hope you have a good Sunday as well. We've got Grimgar saying, I will be getting some new stuff, but want to get my current lot painted first, so the original stuff, that's cool. And Grimgar says, I am also getting some Gravelords. Love, Death, Faction. Yeah, those Gravelords look absolutely awesome. Are you going to get the Blood Knights, I presume? Because they are... I want to say like their centerpieces kind of like pushed forward or say like these is the new stuff. So yeah, the Gravelord stuff does look good. The bats I'm a massive fan of as well. 100%. But no, and quite two different armies as well. Well, I mean, I don't know what the rules are for the Gravelords, obviously, but they're like very like quite different aesthetics, shall we say. Should be quite a lot of nice change up in like the painting style and all that sort of thing, I would say, compared to the two of them. So no, it sounds like a good decision made there to try and, like I was saying when I did like that motivational video, if you've got like two projects, especially if they're quite different to paint from each other, it does help motivation because it gives you that change up you need to have that variety in your painting. Otherwise it feels like, for me, painting will feel nothing else but a chore if I'm just forcing myself to paint the same thing over and over again, which is why after I get this Shalaxi Hellbane done, I'm going to go on to my Ostrich Bone Reapers to massively change up the painting style, and they don't take me as long, so I'm generally really looking forward to painting them, and I've been playing them a lot on Tabletop Simulator, so I'm definitely in the Ostrich Bone Reaper mode, and I've been doing a long in-depth series to them on the channel if you guys have checked that out. So yeah, so definitely looking forward to getting onto them. But I'm happy to finish on Shalaxi Hellbane because, like I said, it's taken a while, there's still a while to go, but it's like kind of finishing on a bang. You know, like I've been painting so many Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights and stuff, and then a nice big model, and it's a demon, so it's a little bit different to the norm for my Slaves of Darkness because there's much more black on it because I do like the black skin for the demons, and there's white on here but not as much white as the other stuff where it's just like pure white armor all the time, basically. Right now, in case you joined, I am doing the Unnatural looking. Sorry, I keep going on camera. Unnatural looking, sort of like basin for the Realm of Shadow stuff. Just to give it like, make it look a little bit different. Still got a bit more to do. Got some more stuff in the chat. So, Freelancer saying, happy Sunday, fellow hobbyists. Hope you're doing well, mate. Happy Sunday to you as well. Thank you for joining. And Freelancer says, is it possible to have an army of gore grunters? Yes, it is. Is it viable? Like, as in, is it like really competitive? Like, I don't think it'll win a tournament, but it will do bloody well. I've been beaten by an armies of gore grunters. I went against a guy called Toby in the Discord, very nice chap, and he brought nothing but pigs against me, basically, apart from some supported heroes. And I think he had like 27 gore grunters, and it was a terrifying thing, and they charged me all turn one. So yeah, they can be good, man. Yeah, like, is it the best way to play like Orc War clans, and specifically, you know, like Iron Jaws? I don't know, but it certainly has got play. Yeah, so it's not like it's cool, but it doesn't really work out. Like if you had like an army of nothing but hydras, as an example, it can be definitely viable. Yeah. And then Valador saying, hello Nagash, have you seen the review for Broken Realms Techless? I haven't yet, mate. No, I've been quite busy this week, and then yesterday I played in a 2,000 point tabletop simulator tournament, which was fantastic fun. 3 games, won the first 2, got beaten by 21 Yetis, which, to be honest, it's just quite funny to say, so I don't mind. It was a great game. So with that, I haven't really actually had too much time. The Broken Realms Techless, so what I'll do as normal, well, I say normal, what I did in the Marathi book, is I did like a likes and dislike video, so that's probably what I'll end up doing. I'll get the book and then I'll look through it and see what I like and what I don't like. And I think things like the lore and stuff like that, it'll be really good. I haven't read the lore, so I don't mean like, is it good, is it not? I mean, the Marathi one was really good, but I didn't really do much of a lore video on it. And I think, to be honest, you've got like 2 Plus Tough, who's going to do a fantastic lore series on it, no doubt. So I really feel like there's probably not much more to say than what he's going to say about it. So I think he'll do a really good review on it. But I've seen some of the War Scrolls, the Luminaire stuff, and some of it looks bonkers. That's all I'll say about it. And then we've got Pinner saying, what was it? Oh yeah, so sorry, you just joined. So thanks. Unfortunately, no painting for me today. Just cleaning my flat while listening to some Warhammer content. That's fair enough, mate. We all know listening to Warhammer content whilst cleaning your flat really does boost things. It generally does. I think I listened to the Honest Wargamer stuff when I was cleaning my bathroom like the other month or something like that. It's generally, sometimes I'm a person who listens to music a lot, and it might be because I'm in the gym and all that sort of thing a lot, and I'm used to listening to music. But sometimes it's nice just to change it up and listen to like a podcast, or just, when I say change it up, I mean it's either for me an audiobook about Warhammer or history, or Warhammer content on YouTube, if it's not music. And that's really where the line is drawn, on news maybe. But no, yeah, definitely, that's cool, man. And then he's saying to say thank you and wish you all the best. Oh, thanks a lot, man. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the content. I don't just, when people say to me they enjoy my content, I just go, oh, okay, thank you. I'm like, I do generally appreciate it, because I do all this for you guys. So I'm happy to see that it's worth it, essentially. Like a little thing I did, like my first Corn video ever since I got new editing software, and I did like a trailer for the Corn stuff. And like at the start, I always do like a little intros things now. It does take it does take quite a bit of time to edit that and stuff, and to find the right music and everything else. But a bunch of people commented and said they really liked it. So for me, that makes it worth it, because someone has appreciated it. 100%. So no, thanks, man, for letting me know. But so for everyone else who has joined, because I see we've got some more people. What is everyone working on? Hope everyone's well. And I think a question to ask is, if you could have one army get updated, what army would that be? So that could be Skaven, it could be Beasts of Chaos, It could be Cities of Sigmar. So what army would you like to see? Yeah, let's go with, what army would you like to see get a new battle tome? So not new models, but a new battle tome. What army do you think needs it? And tell me why as well, as it's always good to hear that. I do like asking questions. I think it's good. We had a good question from Luke the other weekend, which was what would everyone like? If everyone had to do one army for each Grand Alliance, what they like, and loads of people answered. So that's really cool to hear a little insight what you guys would like in your own personal collection. Because what army would you like for each Grand Alliance? It's an interesting one because it's like a nice target to have. Some of us, we can't have that. I mean, I don't have that as an example. I probably did once upon a time, but not like full-fledged painted armies. But it would be a cool thing to aim towards at some point in the future. Yeah, my computer's frozen a little bit, so did this last time as well for some reason. So I'm just gonna, I presume the stream's still going, so I just need to reload this to be able to see your questions and stuff. That's always good to see. Oh, we're loading back in. We're loading back in, but I have to watch an advert for my own YouTube video, which is a thing. In case you wonder, you have to watch your own monetization. But what we got? So we got. Grimgar saying, I think all the new sculpts look good for Gravelords, including the most of the zombies, with AOS 3 being rumoured around the corner. What would you and chat like to see changed or added? I would like to see some change. The computer's it's freezing on and off, so if I don't reply to a question straight away, just bear with me. But what I'd like to see change for AOS 3, like, if you ask me, the first General's Handbook, when that came into Age of Sigmar, that was the most fun I've ever had in Age of Sigmar. So sometimes I feel like when they add in changes, it's not always for the best in terms of rules, because the great thing about Age of Sigmar is it's not a simple game, but it's an easy game to pick up and learn. And if you're struggling with learning the game, that's not me saying, oh, why don't you know it by now? But I'm just saying, compared to some other games out there, it's one that you can learn in not too long, which I really enjoy, and then like difficult to master. So then when you get to a point though, and there's so many rules to remember, I mean, it's not really. It almost becomes like a homework study, like going through all the new rules and trying to remember what they are. But what would I like to see change in terms of rules? I can't really think about too many, but I'd like to see shooting change. I'd like it. It doesn't have to change too much. But if you're stuck in combat or something, you can only shoot that thing you're in combat with, and you got to look at Sir as well, which -1 to hit I think is good. But I think if you're also stuck in combat, you should be like -1 to hit, just like something really small like that. Because I don't know, if you've got a terrorgeist trying to eat you and you're trying to like load your fucking bow and arrow and trying to shoot it in the head, I think you would be a little bit compromised to your efficiency of loading that arrow into that bow and firing it straight into the head of the terrorgeist, which is 1 meter in front of you. So yeah, I think maybe a change there, mainly just because there's a huge shooting meta at the moment, and it's quite. So I swapped to an army Ostrich Bone Reapers to take a couple of catapults with it, and I'm going to try taking Ostrich Bone Reapers without any shooting. But the meta feels so strong at the moment with shooting that if your army doesn't have shooting, you don't really stand too much of a chance. Now, I know there are some examples where that's not the case, but for most of the armies, it is a lot of the time. And even if it's just a case of not because you're shooting, so it's just going to wipe the enemy out, but you're going to wipe out that like one buff piece they rely on. And just to help with that, because otherwise you could really struggle. So I'd like to see shooting get nerfed. And what else would I like to see? I'd like to see them continue with the narrative stuff, but I know that's not really match play, and I know that's not what we're really talking about probably. They need to. I'd like to see them do a bloody points change across the board. Some things need to certainly go up, and some things need to certainly go down. And just make drastic point changes. Like, I'm not going to go into what should be, go up massively, but basically look at the armies that win the tournaments all the time, because they are, Seraphon, Doc even should go up, even though they just got an update. Lumineth, there's Deepkin. There's a bunch, right? But I think more along the lines of things like Beast of Chaos and all that sort of thing. They need to come down in points, and Sylvaneth as well, and maybe just like have War Scrolls rewritten. But I know we're getting that sort of stuff in the Broken Realm books, so it could be fixed there. To be honest, those sort of problems. To be fair, but yeah, I can't really think about too much, to be honest. I think a couple of battle plans to be changed as well, like Blaze Edge isn't a very good one. But there's a bunch of I don't really know, to be honest with you. Don't really know. Maybe deep striking to be harder to be achieved, things like that. I'm not really too sure, to be honest. But if anyone else has got any thoughts of what they would like to see with AOS 3 coming out, so the 3rd edition, which, like I said, been rumoured to come out like summertime, let me know, and let everyone else know in the chat as well. Be interesting to see. And then Luke replying to a question that I asked, and if anyone else would like to answer it, which I just said, what army would you like to see get updated in terms of a new battle tome? And Luke has said, Beasts of Chaos, they need to be both fun to play and actually have a chance. Completely agree. I did a long in-depth Beasts of Chaos series that some of you guys might have seen, and I did talk about their strengths, but I can't get away with saying that, they are an army that certainly does struggle at the moment. And as well as, you could say, it's fun to play though. You want to have a bit more of a chance, don't you? We have got a good guy called Ben in the Discord who plays Beasts of Chaos particularly well. And so it shows that with dedication you can do well, but like if you not saying anything bad about Ben, he's clearly a very good player and stuff, but if he was to go toe to toe with Seraphon 10 times, he would not win the majority of those games. And that's not saying anything about him, that's just saying about the army itself. Then Grimgar, we've got, I like to see Sylvaneth get a new battle tome, but I agree with Luke that Beast Chaos need love. Yeah, they really do. I think the problem you have is, like when I reviewed it, you go like, there's loads of good chaff here, there's loads of good screens, things like that, but that's most of what the army is. And there's a few hard-hitting things here and there, but there's not loads of it. There's not loads of like versatility compared to some of the other armies out there. When I mean some, I mean the majority of them, unfortunately. So yeah, I definitely agree there. And then we've got Luke saying, I'd like to see Grand Alliances be fun and interesting to play again in AOS 3. Yeah, I think that'd be cool, because then it'll have so much more mixed armies. It used to be a thing, like you could go like Grand Alliance, Chaos, Destruction, Death, Order, and you used to see a fair bit. You mainly probably saw Grand Alliance, Destruction, and Grand Alliance Order the most, and Grand Alliance Order being the top one. But yeah, that'd be cool to see, and it would make you feel like less restricted in what you can take. So yeah, I'd like that. They're doing their best in battle tomes to make allies more viable and all those sorts of things, I do think. But it'd be good to see, for sure. Right, have we done all the purple on this yet? Because it feels like it's taking forever. Just do it down here. Yeah, I'll say that's the purple done, which is fine. We may actually do a wash now, which would be interesting. Be some contrast, just like some instant results, which should be nice now that we've done loads of groundwork. Cool, a couple people in the chat. So we've got Raug saying, how about Corn AOS and or 40k, but more important change the garbage model skull cannon models of what you thought on the worst model in both thoughts on worst model in both 40k and AOS. My worst model on AOS, that is probably the entirety of the Stormcast range, but no, I'm joking, the Stormcast are okay. But Oh. The current zombies are pretty awful. Like, just to say straight up. I know we're getting new ones, but the current zombies are pretty awful. A bunch of the Skaven models are pretty awful. Worst model. It's interesting though, because the current White King's awful. There's actually a fair amount of models out there that are awful. But 40k, I don't really know too much, to be honest with you. I just know like some of them just look really, really outdated. Because Chaos Marauders are pretty bad. Trying to think. Probably some old Nurgle character I'd probably say is the worst, because I don't really like Nurgle models anyway. And then 40k, I'm not really too sure. Probably just like some. I know there's a lot of old Imperium stuff, but then there's a really old Tyrannid. There's like one big Tyrannid snake thing what I remember seeing, like a metal. It's red. Something like that looks really old. Lots of old stuff. There's also Seraphon has some old models, but yeah. So that's an interesting question though. And then we've got Gurkout saying, "I'd like to see more Skaven inclusion with Nurgle." Yes, you got Clan Pestilence. Yeah, it'd be cool to see them work more together. Could be a thing. I mean, they already do work, but to see them fit perfectly in there, yeah, that'd be nice to see. I'm all for armies working better with each other. It lets you not limit yourself in what you can include. And then Gurkout saying rude, presumably that's what I said about Nurgle. And then Lucas said worst model 40k. Insert Elder Range here. Yeah, they're pretty. Some of those models are pretty bad. And then worst model for AOS, Slaanesh Demonettes. I don't know. I mean, I'm paying up a Slaanesh Demon here, aren't I? And I'll be honest, I'm not really a massive fan of the Demonettes. Yeah, that's a fair point. Oh, I won't do it now because I have to basically go across the camera and stuff to have a look. But I'm tempted to go on the website just to try and find like old models. Gurkout saying for dissing Nurgle. It's just, I don't know, ugly models. But I suppose that's what you buy into with them. Like there's no hiding. They're just really fat and grotesque. But you know, that's my personal opinion. We'll have different ones. So like I thought I might like it because I do death and there's a lot of, you know, rotten flesh and all that sort of thing, but it's different. But for Nurgle, if I had to do a Nurgle army, it would have to be Clan Pestilence because my love for Skaven would carry me through, I think is the way to say it. But yes. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We'll do some of the washes. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do like a nice, we want the undercoat of this cloth here to be like flayed flesh. So we're going to get Cabs and Crimson and we're going to use that to make it look like flayed flesh. I've done that with my Chaos Warriors as well for when they've got flayed flesh on their cloaks and stuff. I'll just give it a bit of a shake because it hasn't been used for a while. There's probably a bit more I could do before I start chucking washers on and stuff, but to be honest with you, I just want like a nice, quick, instant boom. That's a big change to the model because it just feels like a bit stagnant for a while. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's working good. If I need to retouch up the white, that's fine, I can do that. Not a problem. Oh, we are going to have the other side of this cloak is going to be purple though, so we're not going to have the same colour. We'll change up the colour just to keep things interesting. Just get in there, get a bit deep. Like I said, I can retouch up that white, that's no problem. fine. I can retouch that. Just get the worst bit done, basically, at the top. So, for new armies, are we only interested in Beasts of Chaos then? We're the only ones who think they are worthy of a new battle tome. I would also like to say I think Sylvaneth is one, because I do kind of believe that their current battle tome is worse than their first one, which is a little bit sad, but I do think that's kind of the case. I don't know what Games Workshop were doing there, but there we are. So yeah, they're definitely in need of a battle tome. Legion of Nagashes as well, but we've got Silverlight Gravelords coming out, so that'll solve that problem. We know they're definitely going to be replacing Legion of Nagash, Silverlight Gravelord, because they've got the skeletons, they've got the zombies, and things like Felbats and Blood Knights. Like, they've just got all those units that are in Legions, so we know 100% they will be the ones getting replaced. And like, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to use your old collection with them as well. Something that I might do actually, which Luke actually suggested, is do a video on going through what Legions of Nagash has on the Games Workshop website and saying what I think will stay and what I think will go and what I think will get new models. If that's something you guys be interested in, that's something I can definitely look at doing. I think it'd be quite like a bit of a different video, but quite an interesting one to go through, and then to see what I was right basically and what I was wrong about. Because obviously the Legions of Nagash ranges are very close to my heart, having a huge collection of it. And then Gurkat saying, do I have a pile of shame? I do, mate, I do. About, not this Christmas, but the Christmas before, I probably had a pile of shame of about £4,000. And then I managed to work on it. So I've got a pile of shame of now about probably, I don't know, half that. Basically, the last year I haven't been buying new models. I've just been working on everything I have. I actually did a video on like pile of shame and hobby motivation and stuff, and that's actually the reason why I'm doing this video now, because I did this video about hobby motivation, or how I find to work from my backlog and try to resist buying new models and cut down the backlog and fight the war against the grey. And then someone said to me, going, someone put in a comment saying, Fight the Grey sounds like a good series for a hobby hangout. And then I put a poll up and asked you guys to be interested in a hobby hangout, and you guys overwhelmingly said yes. So that is why there is this video series, very much because I have got a backlog. And in these videos, I'm going to try and work on it, and I hope you guys are doing the same, and get to talk to you guys as well at the same time. So yeah, I certainly do have a backlog, and instead of just going, oh, it's never over, like, we're never going to get that down, no, actually try and work on it, because it's pretty much embarrassing, because it's loads of money. Like, realistically, so much money is spent on this hobby, and if you're not even going to work on it, then what's the point? You should have spent that money wiser. I know that's like hard to hear, but that's the truth. Like, 100%. If you're just going to buy something so it stays in a box forever, in terms of our hobby, in terms of things that you should be building and painting and not collecting, then yeah, waste the money. So that is my own personal opinion, and all other opinions are wrong really on that one. So that's what I had to get to terms with, and that's why I am doing this. So yes, I hope that does answer your question. Do you have a pile of shame? Because I presume, well, I'm not going to presume you do, because I wouldn't do that. But I know most people do have a pile of shame, and most people are very open about it, which is good, because it's the only way to defeat it, if you're open. How am I going to get around this? I've got a bit of a problem here, where some of the wash is coming up too bright compared to the others, but I think I know what I'm going to do about it. I think I've got a solution, which involves blood for the blood god, so hopefully that'll sort out my problem. Otherwise, I'm not really too sure. So looking to see if there's a better angle to get in here, and there's absolutely not. This is not very easy to paint. I'm glad I'm doing it with a wash. Yeah, I think I've got a solution to my problem here. Hopefully. Is that all that bit done? Nope, a couple of bits missed. Well, it's not as fun as I thought it'd be. That was disappointing. Cool, so that's that. I am then gonna go on to. Well, that's come out a bit better, but it is what it is. I'm then going to go on to probably doing a bit more washing on the crest. Let's maybe do the purple there. Yeah, we'll do that. Cool. And then Gurkhat saying, yes, I have a pile of shame, but Luke's is still bigger. Mine just in one place. His all over the house. Yeah, well, I can tell you that does not surprise me one bit about Luke. I mean, frankly, it's embarrassing. I mean, I'm glad I don't have to deal with it on an everyday basis, more on every second day. I could tell just by, the way how Luke talks on Discord that probably is a nightmare to live with, that chap, but, clearly worth it. So, no, I'm joking. Luke's a very nice person, but he probably does leave everything around the house. But no, yeah. But I hope you are enjoying Ergo at the same time. I was only like personal preferences and stuff. No, it was fun. But I'll tell you what, it's fun to paint. I'll give you that. It's fun to paint. Cool, yeah, let's do the head crest. So we're gonna have this purple and white. I could do the head crests on my Chaos Warrior helmets. And we can divide this into different segments. And so that means we will have... Okay, where do the segments start and end is the question. So that means we will have... It looks very much like one segment there, one segment there. Is there a third? There is a third. Oh, is that a third? Not really. Can I make that? It's kind of in 2 parts normally. Need it to be 3 parts, but yeah, that's 2. Bugger. Okay, so I need 3 because I need it to be purple, white, purple. Okay. You think about this one a little bit. Gurkhat saying he's not bad, but ask him about the cups in the office. I can hear the cups from here. It's embarrassing. Okay, Chilaxi, why do you do this to me? Why do you do... Oh, we're just gonna have to make a... gonna have to make a third divide, probably. Unless I can split into 4. Can I split into 4 if I do 1 up to here? That's 1. 1 up to here, and then 2, then 3, then 4. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll split into 4. I mean, it's going to be a bit more work, but it'll look better at the end of the day. And the Luke response is saying, accusations, I have no cups in my office. Well, that's not what the word on the street is, Luke. That's not what the word is on the street. And the street is pretty goddamn reliable these days. So, sort out those cups. Right, okay. Well, I'm glad I've made a decision on this, what I'm going to do. So let's get the purple out. It's going to be some lovely Drucci Violet. That's cool. So I can see there's a few people and stuff watching. So let me know what you guys are working on as well. It's always good to hear that. And then a running question we've got going is if you could have a new battle tome for an army, what would that army be? So a lot of people are saying Beast of Chaos. I personally say Beast of Chaos as well. But I think there are some other contenders up there that could do with a new battle tome. Probably Nurgle, to be honest with you. That one's been out for a while. So purple, white, purple, white. Oh, it needs to be bloody. Oh, bugger, I think it actually needs to be. Oh, it needs to be. It's a bit an odd number, doesn't it? Unless we did purple, white. They're just. Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell. Thought this crest was going to be easy. Bloody colour organisation. More like clearly too. I'm trying to do one. So I want it to be the same as the crest for my Chaos Warriors. Yeah, all right. We'll do this, and then we'll make a fifth one. We'll make a fifth one. It'll be fun. It'll be good. There's will, there's way. Why would do that and just sit and not actually do anything? We'll cut off here. The hair's done pretty well, to be fair. So, right, you can easily see where it divides, which is good. Joy of working with newer models, basically. And then Luke is saying he would like to see Chaos Dwarfs get a battle tome. That's an interesting one. Don't know how much hope there is there because they have removed all the models, but they could be removed them because they're going to make them in plastic for Games Workshop, but not Forge World. I mean, that is some high hopes, but I can't deny it would be quite cool. I personally think with Chaos Dwarfs, they are keeping them for the old world come out. At some point, they're basically that specialist game they're making for Warhammer Fantasy. It's commonly known, sort of tying in with Warhammer Total War 3 as well, by the looks of things. So I think they're going to bring them out of that, personally, if they come back, because there's not even any guarantee they're going to come back. But I think they will. I think that's when they'll bring them out. That's fine. So is that the first bit purple? Let me clean that up. Yeah, that needs to be okay. There's overcomposite in there. Purple doesn't extend that far. I said it was easy to tell the hair's end and stuff, and it's not actually. I take that back. But it's okay. Things can be fixed. What I'll do is I'll paint the first bit as well. Oh no, because so the next bit's white. White. Purple. Oh, yeah, it needs to be. That's great. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as it was, does it? So we'll have purple, white. Yeah, I think it'll look better. Even though it's not the same as the Chaos Warrior helmets exactly, it's pretty much the same. So we'll do that. So that means this one is purple. Where does that start and that end? On that line, okay. So I did it off camera again, trying to remember not to do that. And then Luke is saying, do you think we shall see rules to the old world stuff for AOS? Not for AOS, I think it'll just be its own specialist game with that one. I mean, I'm open to pretty much anything. I don't really have like a gripe if it does, but it's nice for those old world characters, isn't it, to get some attention rather than just being put into Legends, which basically just means Games Workshop is telling them they don't like them anymore and they don't want people to play them. So it would be nice if basically people with collections who they spent the money on in the past can make the most out of their models. That's all I want, really, to be able to get the most out of the money they spend on this really expensive hobby. So yeah, that's what I think is fair. And then we've got Kark in the chat saying, would love to see some more Tomb Kings inspired undead for Age of Sigmar. They had a bone giant with a Corpus, can't pronounce that, in AOS. Another the Undying King after all. Yeah, I think with Tomb Kings, to be honest, like in AOS, they are the Ostrich Bone Reapers. I know they're not the same. I get that. I understand. But in all intents and purposes, I think Ostrich Bone Reapers should get more constructs. And that's basically, you know, new Next Sphinxes and all that sort of thing. That's where you'll get your Tomb King stuff for, basically. That's what happened to it. And I think that'd be quite good rather than just nothing at all. So, yeah, I think that's the way forward for that one. Unless they get stuff in, you know, like I said, the specialist game, the old world come out. Potentially. Okay, where's the purple? So that's, is that purple? That is purple. And that is purple too. Yeah, I thought painting these washes and stuff would be like the enjoyable bit, and I'll be honest, it's not been very enjoyable this, annoyingly. Yeah. But here we are. Here we go. Luke saying, I personally feel that Bone Reapers is the answer to it. Yeah, so exactly what I was saying. Agreed. Then Cox saying, a shame if that is the case. I honestly think it is, mate. Like, I know people keep saying Tomb Kings are coming back, and I've been wrong about things before. I said, you know, Sigvold doesn't come back, and then obviously I was wrong about that. So, you know, Tomb Kings can come back, and I want to be wrong. I want Tomb Kings to come back, but I just, you know, realistically, I don't think they will be. But like I say, happy to be wrong on that one. As always, more death is better, but I don't think they are. In all honesty, and I think like if Chaos Dwarfs, you know, are going to be gone forever, which I don't think they will be, but if they are, I really do feel like Games Workshop should announce that and see, like, putting the pieces together of saying like now the army's no longer in stock. I don't think that's a really good way of doing it at all, because then people who had just bought that army, like, I don't know, a few days before, it's like, oh, okay, so my army won't be valid at some point soon. So yeah. So I wish they did that a bit better with the Tomb Kings and the Bretonnians, really, as well. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I'm better. Yeah, I'm better just going a bit more heavy on that purple and actually making it a bit bigger. Yeah. And have it covering all of this. And then just have the white a little bit at the front. The way forward, I think. Hard because it's not that it's not equal. So that's all right, and then that's. Okay. That's fine. Sorry, I'm quite concentrating on this at the moment, so it's quite quiet. It's starting to really annoy me, basically. Other plan doesn't come together. So Gurkout is going, what are snotlings? You should know what snotlings are. They are a form of like grot that hangs around with the ogres, and the ogres sort of like keep them because they can be quite useful and they do make for good snacks on long journeys. and that is basically their lore, and they have massive noses. Like, that's and the noses are very delicious to the ogres as well. That's what I know on their lore. Luke should be able to tell you more. I expect him to be able to tell you more. I'm disappointed if he can't right now. Okay. It's been really pain to paint. Because I would think that Shalaxi is a perfectionist, and disappointed that she isn't, because somehow she can't do her bloody hair right. It's really annoying. That just doesn't add up that bit. There's plenty of bits of this model that don't actually make sense, and I'm realising that now. And I thought this would be the fun bit, but here we are, and that is the battle against the Grey. Always unpredictable, and presumably not fun. But with that, I am going to end it because I'm getting quite annoyed with the painting. And then Luke is saying, that Snobbler's not Snotlins. What ones are those again? Snotling pump wagons and stuff. They're basically just like a smaller version of a grot. I know that sounds very, very similar to what a Nobbler is. But that's practically what they are. I imagine they're smaller, they're more sneaky, maybe a bit smarter because they have like war machines and stuff. And there you go. And I think they're kind of like put into Legends now for AOS, so they're kind of like retconned a little bit. Not really part of it anymore, basically. We'll just do a little bit more, and then we'll call it there. But if anyone's got any questions or anything before I go, put them in the chat now, and I'll answer them. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, this bloody thing. Really annoying me. It's annoying me more than my own hair at the moment, which is massively overgrown. It kind of looks like this. Yeah, like we'll do that for now. Cool. So that is it. So I'm going to end it here. So I'm going to thank you all very much for watching this video. If you do enjoy these sort of videos, I do try and do them every Sunday I can, as much as possible, as long as they're really popular and stuff. So if you did enjoy the video, please smash that like button, that subscribe button, that bell notification. I know I always say to do that, and it's not just like something I tag on for no reason. It really does help out the channel. It's free to do so, and it's a massive show to me that you want to see this stuff, and it helps the channel out on YouTube, basically. And YouTube's a big scary place, and this is a relatively small channel compared to a lot of other ones, so it really helps. helps me out basically. It's absolutely free to do so. So if you can like, subscribe, and bell notification. I know quite a few people have liked this video already while watching it, so thank you so much for doing that. What I do want to say as well is if you would like to consider supporting the channel that step further, I have actually got a Patreon and a YouTube membership system sorted out. So what that means is basically you'll see a join button next to the subscribe button, and if you press that join button you will find it will take you to a little bit where you can become a Agent Nagash member. Essentially you can just give like £1 a month and it goes a huge long way into keeping the channel going, as because of my patrons and my YouTube members I'm able to keep up making these videos to try and help people like yourself and everyone else try and get into Age of Sigmar and really to explore the most of their Age of Sigmar journey best as possible, and that is what I try and do. So on that note, I would like to say a massive shout out to my patrons and my YouTube members who make all this possible, like I mentioned. So that's going to be my Morgasts, who are my top supporters, and that's going to be Johnathan H and Filq, Bleed Red, and Christopher G. Thank you so much for your continued support, and that tier, you're absolutely smashing it. Really does go a long way, and like, thank you so much for your really, really kind generosity. I really do mean that to each one of you four. And then my vampires, which are Mir, Martin S, Rouse321, David A, Ronni H, Doug P, SpareBear, and Christopher H. I've got C written here for some reason, but it needs to be Christopher H. Thank you so much for your continued support there as well. At that tier, it's also very generous of you, and I really need to thank you as much as I can for that. And on that note, I would also like to thank a new one we have got who has joined Patreon, which is going to be Northdrop, who is a new vampire. So thank you so much for considering and, well, going more than that, actually deciding to become a patron of the channel, and it will go straight towards keeping the channel going. So thank you so much for that. And it really just, when I say keep the channel going, it's like obviously it helps towards financial costs, because the amount of money and stuff I spend on this channel, you know, basically you don't get enough money back for it, but it does help towards the cost and everything, so it makes a huge difference. And if anything else, it just helps me justify the time I put in. And then finally my Necromancers, who do a fantastic job as well. So that's going to be my starting with Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Dice Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Quad, Cranky Wombat, Christopher F, Christopher C, James S, Steve T, and Robin S. Thank you so much for your continued support there as well, guys. It was for all of you guys I'm able to keep this up, and for everyone to enjoy. So thank you so much. You guys deserve a massive shout out, as I always give you, or try to do in every single one of my videos. So with that, guys, I'm going to thank you all for watching this video. I've managed to do a bit more on her. I got a bit frustrated towards the end because I thought the layout of the hair would be a bit easier to follow, but it's really not, unfortunately, because I thought it would be Sinesh, that'd be nice and pretty and neat. But I was wrong on that one. So with that, guys, I'm going to thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope more than anything you managed to crack on a bit with your backlog and keep going throughout this afternoon, maybe, or whatever time it is for you. And remember to keep that war up against the grey. And yeah, so that's it, guys. So I'm going to thank you very much for watching this video. And until next time, remember to stay safe, wear a mask, wear gloves as well. That always helps. And stay hygienic, for God's sake, because it means that when we can actually start playing games again at some point in the future, our new painted models will be ready with us. So keep that up. But remember, more importantly than anything else, that until next time, Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash. And then for anyone still around, you can see me do the awkward thing where I try and take the camera out of the mount while being able to turn off YouTube at the same time, because it has to be taken out of the mount before I can turn off YouTube, which is a really funny and annoying design feature. But here we are. So with anyone still watching, thank you so much for watching.